Imagine for a second. The prophecy has come true. The child marked by the Dark Lord was born on July 31st. But instead of Lily's green eyes, huge like tennis balls, bulging eyes, instead of unruly black hair, two thin strands over sharp ears. What if the Chosen One never held a wand? What if the boy who lived was obliged to bow to every passing wizard? And the scariest thing, what if Voldemort didn't even consider him a threat because elves cannot be heroes by definition? Today we will explore an alternative universe where magic chose its protector in the most humiliated of beings. And believe me, this story will have it all: betrayal and love, sacrifice, and magic that the wizarding world hasn't seen for 1,000 years. Let's start from the very beginning. That very night, October 31st, 1981. The Potter house is burning. Lily lies by the crib, her arms sprawled lifelessly. Voldemort looks down into the crib and sees emptiness. Only a pair of huge, frightened eyes shine from under the blanket. A small grey creature looks at him, trembling all over, and whispers a single word.
Mama.
The Dark Lord laughs, a cold, cutting laugh that shatters glass. Before him lies not the hero of the prophecy, but a house elf, a mistake of nature. He raises his wand lazily, almost mockingly, and casts Avada Kedavra into the crib. The magical world has never seen anything like this. The green beam meets a wave of pure ancient magic. The magic of house elves, the very magic that has been neglected for centuries. Lily's love filled the air of the room, and that love resonated in the being born to serve and protect. The spell bounces back. The house explodes. Voldemort disappears. And in the crib remains a small elf with a lightning-shaped scar on his forehead. Dumbledore stands on Privet Drive holding a bundle in his arms. Inside is a tiny creature sleeping uneasily, twitching its ears in sleep. Minerva looks at him with wide eyes.
Albus, are you serious? You want to leave him as what? As a toy for these muggles?
Minerva, the boy has no choice. The magical world will not accept an elf hero. They won't understand. And the Dursleys. The Dursleys could become his family, or his cage. Either way, here he will be safe.
Safe? Albus, elves bond to their masters with magic. If these people declare him theirs, he will belong to them. Forever.
The old wizard is silent for a long time. Then he leans down and kisses the tiny forehead with the scar.
I know, Minerva, I know.
For the next 10 years, Harry lived in a cupboard under the stairs. Only now the cupboard was not a punishment. It was his rightful home. The Dursleys gladly accepted the free servant as soon as Vernon realized that the creature was obliged to obey the commands of its masters. No schools, no questions from neighbors. Elves know how to become invisible. He washed the floors, made breakfast, washed Dudley's socks, and every time he burned toast or broke a plate, he punished himself. Such was the law of his kind. He hit his fingers with a poker, pinched his ears in the oven door, whispered apologies to his masters while blood dripped onto the clean floor, which he would then have to scrub. But sometimes, very rarely, strange things happened. The glass in the zoo terrarium disappeared on its own. Dudley's hair grew back overnight after a haircut. Harry shrank to the size of a mouse and hid in the cupboard when Vernon raised his hand. He didn't understand that it was magic. He thought it was just part of what it meant to be an elf, to serve and survive. And then the letter came. Rather, Hagrid came. Huge, bearded, in a flowing cloak, he broke down the door of the hut on the island and stepped inside, holding a pink cake in his hands. The Dursleys pressed against the wall, and Harry stood in the middle of the room in a torn pillowcase and bowed low. That's what instinct taught him.
What does Master Hagrid wish from Harry? Harry will do everything that the Great Wizard commands.
Hagrid froze, his enormous eyes filled with tears. He knelt down, such a huge man kneeling before such a tiny creature, and offered the cake.
No, little one. No need for that. You're Harry Potter. You're a hero. You don't have to bow to anyone.
Harry, a hero? Master Vernon said that Harry is a freak and a mistake.
Master Vernon is the biggest ass in the whole bloody county.
Next was Diagon Alley, and it was a disaster. An elf walking next to a giant evoked both horror and laughter at the same time. Wizards recoiled, children pointed. An old man spat at his feet and muttered something about the decline of pureblood traditions. Only in Ollivander's shop something changed. The old master looked at Harry with a long, attentive gaze, and his eyes sparkled with some strange light.
Curious? Oh, very curious. An elf has never held a wand in history, Mr. Potter. Elf magic comes from within, through a snap of the fingers. A wand is a tool for humans. And yet...
He handed Harry a long, thin box. Inside lay a holly wand with a phoenix feather. Harry took it with his tiny fingers. The wand was almost as long as he was, and a burst of golden sparks shot from its tip. The walls of the shop trembled. The displays lit up.
Harry Potter, you have just rewritten the rules of magic. Congratulations.
The train on platform 9 3/4. Harry stands on the platform, holding a cage with a white owl that Hagrid bought for him. Everyone is watching. Everyone is whispering. An elf at Hogwarts? An elf with a wand? Is this a joke? Is this a disgrace? A red-haired boy with a dirty nose enters the compartment. He looks, freezes. Harry prepares for mockery.
Is this seat taken? It's packed everywhere.
Harry doesn't mind if the owner sits down.
Listen, I'm not the owner. I'm Ron. Just Ron. And if you bow again, I'll be offended. Got it?
For the first time in 11 years of life, Harry didn't know what to say. No one had ever said such things to him.
Want half? Mum makes them with mustard. Awful, but I'll share.
And the elf took the half and cried, right into the sandwich. The Sorting Hat sat on Harry's sharp ears, and the great hall fell silent. There wasn't a single person who wasn't staring at that moment. The hat was silent for a long time. Then it chuckled softly, for the first time in many centuries. Oh ho ho, what an interesting specimen. Courage? Certainly. Intelligence? Sharp as a razor. Loyalty? Incredible. You are made for loyalty. Ambition? Oh yes, hidden deep, but it exists. The hall waited. Harry trembled. You will be a difficult choice, boy, but I see your heart, and the heart says, Gryffindor. The hall exploded, half with applause, the other half with outraged cries. At the Slytherin table, Draco Malfoy jumped up, his face pale with rage.
This is a mockery. An elf in Gryffindor. My father will hear about this.
The first year passed like a feverish dream. Harry learned to hold a wand. For this, he had to make a special holder from straps. He learned not to bow to every passerby. Sometimes he forgot and fell to his knees in the middle of the corridor. He learned that he had a name, that he was not a thing. Snape hated him in particularly twisted ways. Every potions lesson turned into torture.
Potter, tell me what will happen if you add asphodel root to a wormwood tincture.
Harry doesn't know, Sir Professor.
Of course you don't know. Elves don't know potions. Elves know floors and dishes. 10 points from Gryffindor for your kind.
After class, Hermione caught up with him in the corridor. Her eyes were blazing.
Mistress Hermione is very kind, but Harry is used to it. Harry is not suffering.
Stop calling me mistress. We are friends, Harry. Friends.
The story of the Philosopher's Stone unfolded differently than in our reality. Quirrell, wrapped in Voldemort, underestimated Harry, because for him, as for all purebloods, an elf was a nothing. In the dungeon, at the Mirror of Erased, Quirrell slowly turned, unwrapping his turban. Voldemort's face on the back of his head twisted with rage upon seeing Harry.
You dared to survive. Nothing, creature. Give me the stone.
Harry raised his wand, a small one in a special holder on his wrist, and suddenly he felt, for the first time in his life, real anger. Not fear, but anger, not submission at all.
Harry will not give it. Harry is not a toy. Harry is not a creature. Harry is Potter.
When Quirrell lunged at him, Harry did what no one expected. He didn't use the wand. He snapped his fingers, an ancient gesture of house elves, and all the magic of his kind, accumulated over millennia of slavery, crashed down on the enemy. Quirrell burst into flames, Voldemort screamed and flew out of the body as black smoke, and Harry fell to the stone floor, small and defenseless, and lost consciousness. The second year, the Chamber of Secrets. Then the strangest event in Hogwarts history occurred. When Dobby appeared to Harry in the hospital wing before the start of the school year, both elves froze, looking at each other. Dobby fell to his knees. Then he fell to Harry's knees. Then they both tried to bow at the same time and bumped their ears.
The great Harry Potter, the liberator of elves. Harry Potter must leave Hogwarts.
Master Dobby, Harry can't, Harry promised his friends.
Not a master. Harry Potter is the hero of elves. All elves know. All elves whisper about Harry Potter in kitchens and basements. Harry Potter is our hope.
Harry heard for the first time that he was hope, and this thought was so huge, so burdensome for a little creature in a pillowcase that he quietly sat on the floor and cried. When it became clear that the heir of Slytherin had opened the Chamber of Secrets and that one of the victims was Hermione, lying petrified in the hospital wing, Harry did what no elf had done in history. He broke the rules. He descended into the chamber with Ron and Lockhart, who turned out to be a pathetic fraud and tried to escape. In the underground hall at the statue of Slytherin lay Ginny Weasley, pale as death. And from Tom Riddle's diary rose a ghostly boy, handsome and smiling. So it's you. You are my great enemy? An elf? A creature born to clean pots? Oh, how low the magical world has fallen.
Harry has come for Ginny. Riddle will let her go.
First, I will kill you. Then I will deal with her. From the mouth of the statue slithered a basilisk, huge, green, with yellow eyes the size of plates. And then a miracle happened. Dumbledore's phoenix flew into the hall and brought the sorting hat. And from the hat, Harry pulled out the sword of Gryffindor. A little elf with a huge sword. It looked absurd. It looked beautiful. The battle was short and fierce. Harry jumped, dodged, using his elfin ability to apparate short distances right inside the castle. The sword gleamed in his tiny hand. The phoenix pecked out the basilisk's eyes. And when the monster, in a final lunge, pierced Harry's shoulder with its fang, the elf plunged the sword into its mouth and pierced its skull through. The poison flowed through his veins. Harry was dying. The tears of the phoenix fell on the wound, and the pain disappeared. Amazing, just amazing. The elf defeated the basilisk. This is the end of the legend. Harry grabbed a basilisk fang, crawled to the diary, and with his last strength he plunged the fang into the pages. Riddle screamed. It was a scream from the very depths of hell, and crumbled to black dust. Ginny opened her eyes, and the first thing she saw was a little elf with a lightning scar leaning over her with a tear-streaked face.
You came for me. You really came.
Harry will always come.
The third year brought Sirius Black. When the story of the fugitive murderer spread through Hogwarts, no one could have thought that Harry had a godfather. Elves have no relatives among humans. It was impossible, illegal, incredible. But in the shrieking shack, in dust and blood, Sirius fell to his knees before the little creature in a torn pillowcase, and hugged him, really hugged him, pressing him to his chest.
Harry, baby, forgive me. I'm sorry I didn't come for you. I thought you died with Lily and James. I thought... Oh, Merlin, I thought you were dead.
Master Sirius knew Harry's mom?
Lily was your mother in heart, baby. She died protecting you. She loved you as she would love her own son. And James was my brother. So you are my godson. Do you hear? My godson.
Peter Pettigrew, curled in the corner, hissed,
An elf! They call an elf a godson! What a fall! What a disgrace!
Sirius slowly turned to him, and in his eyes was such fury as Azkaban had not seen in all 12 years. The fourth year, the Triwizard Tournament. The magical world received a slap that it did not recover from. When the cup spat out the fourth name, Harry Potter, the hall froze. Then it erupted in laughter. An elf? An elf will compete with Cedric Diggory, Victor Crumb, and Fleur Delacour. Is this a joke by the organizers? Is this a mistake of magic? Only Cedric Diggory did not laugh. The tall, handsome, noble Hufflepuff approached little Harry and extended his hand.
If magic chose you, Harry, then you are worthy. I will compete with you as an equal.
Master Cedric, very kind.
Not a master, just Cedric. And you know what? If any of those idiots in the stands laughs at you again, tell me. I'll deal with him.
Harry passed his first trial by apparating directly onto the dragon's back. No wizard could do that, but elves could move within magical fields. He grabbed the golden egg in record seconds. The stands were silent. Then Luna Lovegood stood up and started clapping. Alone. A tall, strange girl clapping in complete silence. And then Neville started clapping. Then Hermione. Then the whole Gryffindor. Then Cedric and the entire Hufflepuff. And it was incredible, even a few Slytherins. And Draco Malfoy sat there, pale with rage, watching the world applaud the elf. The tournament continued, and with each trial, everyone began to understand one simple thing. Magic does not distinguish forms. Magic chooses the heart. The third trial, the maze. Harry and Cedric reached the cup at the same time. They looked at each other, a small elf and a tall wizard, and Cedric smiled.
Together, Harry. We'll take it together.
They touched the cup, and the world spun. A graveyard. Cold, dark, terrifying. Peter Pettigrew stepping out of the shadows with a bundle in his hands. And a voice, high, cutting voice.
Kill the extra.
A green flash. Cedric falls. His eyes, full of surprise just a second ago, become empty.
No.
The ritual was horrific. Harry's blood, the blood of an elf, flowed into the cauldron. Voldemort rose from the steaming brew and for the first time saw his enemy face to face.
An elf, my great enemy. An elf. Oh, how the world will laugh when I tell.
The Death Eaters apparated one by one. Bellatrix Lestrange, baring her teeth, bowed before her master. Lucius Malfoy, pale and majestic. They all looked at the tiny creature by the gravestone and sneered contemptuously.
Release him. I want to kill him in fair combat, so everyone can see. Lord Voldemort defeats even elves.
Harry stood up, small, trembling in a torn cloak. His wand shook in its holder, and he did what any hero would do. He raised his eyes and looked his enemy in the face.
Harry is not afraid. Harry has died once. Nothing new.
The spells collided. Green and red beams met in the air, and something impossible happened. Priori incantatem. The connection of the brother wands. Ghosts of Voldemort's victims began to emerge from his wand. Cedric Diggory, glowing silver, looked at Harry and smiled.
Take my body home, Harry. To my parents. Please.
An old man, Bertoldi, strangers, and finally Lily and James Potter. My baby, my brave, beautiful baby. I'm sorry we couldn't be with you.
Mom, did Mom love Harry?
More than anything in the world. You were and are my son. It doesn't matter what form magic gave you. You are my Harry, and I am proud of you. James placed a ghostly hand on his son's shoulder. Run, son. When we hold them off, run to the cup. We love you. Harry grabbed Cedric's body, apparated to the cup, and disappeared. The graveyard exploded with Voldemort's screams of rage. When he appeared on the Quidditch pitch at Hogwarts, everyone gasped. A small elf, bloodied with Cedric's body in his arms. A body that he, so tiny, could not even lift, but the magic of anger and grief gave him strength.
He has returned. Voldemort has returned, and he killed Cedric.
The crowd didn't know whether to believe it or not. Minister Fudge? Oh no, he wasn't in this story. Well, let's just say the Ministry didn't believe it, but Dumbledore believed it, and he embraced the tiny elf as one would embrace their own child.
I knew you would return, my boy. I knew.
The 5th year was the year of Umbridge. the toad-like one, in pink with a sickly sweet smile. She arrived at Hogwarts on a special mission from the Ministry to put the elf in his place. In her opinion, that place was in the kitchen. Her very first defense against the dark arts lesson.
Potter, come to the board and clean up the dust.
There's no dust, Professor Umbridge.
Then find it. Elves know how to find dust. It is your destiny, dear.
The class fell silent. Then Hermione slowly stood up.
Professor Umbridge, I refuse to continue a lesson that humiliates my friend.
Sit down, Miss Granger.
No.
Sit down.
No. No.
One by one, the Gryffindors stood up. Then the Hufflepuffs. Then a few Ravenclaws. Half the class stood, looking at the toad in pink. This was the first rebellion, and it was provoked by an elf. That evening, in the room filled with parchment and ink, an idea was born.
We need our own army. We need to learn to defend ourselves properly. And Harry will teach us.
Harry can't teach the Masters of Wizards. Harry is still just learning.
Harry, you killed the basilisk. You survived against Voldemort. Twice. You are the hero of the tournament. If you're not a defense teacher, then who is?
And thus, Dumbledore's army was born. But in this version of the story, it was called differently. The Elf's Army. Proudly, like a banner. Harry taught them in the Room of Requirement, standing on a stack of books so everyone could see him. And sparks danced from his little wand, so bright that even the oldest student held their breath. At the Ministry of Magic, in the Hall of Prophecies, everything went wrong. When Bellatrix Lestrange cast a curse at Sirius Black, everyone thought he would fall into the Veil, but he did not fall. Because between Sirius and the Veil stood an elf, a small, desperate elf who snapped his fingers and transported his godfather to safety, paying for it with his own blood. The curse hit him in midair. Harry fell to the stone floor in a pool of blood. Bellatrix Lestrange laughed maniacally.
I killed the elf. I killed the great Harry Potter.
But he did not die. Not completely. He lay there, bleeding, and his huge green eyes looked at Sirius. Sirius fell to his knees beside him.
Kid, don't close your eyes. Do you hear? Don't close them.
Master Sirius, be alive. Harry managed.
Voldemort appeared himself. His slit-like nose flared with rage when he saw that the elf was still breathing. He raised his wand to finish him off, and at that moment, Dumbledore burst into the hall. The battle of the two greatest wizards of the age took place over the body of the little dying elf. The walls cracked, statues came to life, and on the floor lay Harry, his little heart beating slower and slower. And suddenly, Voldemort made a mistake. He tried to enter Harry's mind, to possess him, to make the elf betray his friends, and at that moment, he felt what burned him from the inside, love. The love of a mother who gave her life, the love of a godfather and friends, the love that was poison to the Dark Lord, stronger than any potion. He screamed and flew out of the elf's body as black smoke, and when the Ministry officials rushed into the Hall of Prophecies, they saw Lord Voldemort in the flesh, and it was no longer possible to deny his return. Harry spent his 6th year studying Horcruxes. Dumbledore guided him through memories, and the old man and the elf together unraveled the story of Tom Riddle. It was a strange pair, the greatest wizard of the age and a tiny creature in a pillowcase, but they worked as one team.
Albus, why Harry? Why not a real wizard? Harry is small, Harry is weak.
You are stronger than you think, my boy. Do you know what Tom's weakness is? He is incapable of love, and he cannot understand love. When he looks at you, he sees a creature that has been made to serve for centuries, and he thinks this is a weakness. But it is not a weakness, Harry. Serving out of love is a strength he will never understand.
Harry loves his masters, friends, Hermione, Ron, Sirius, and you, Albus.
And in this lies your magic, my boy. The oldest, the most powerful.
At the top of the tower, on that terrible night when Snape raised his wand over Dumbledore, Harry watched, paralyzed by the curse. He saw the green light burst from the Potion Master's wand. He saw the old man fall from the tower like a broken doll, and something died in his heart. The kindest wizard who had ever treated him like a son was gone. Snape looked down at Harry, and the elf would never forget that face. Cold, stone-like, only in his eyes, something strange that Harry did not understand then, something resembling pain.
Don't call me a coward, elf. Never call me a coward.
And he disapparated away. 7th year. Harry, Ron, and Hermione were on the run. A tent, a forest, hunger, despair. And here was the oddity. The elf, accustomed to deprivation, endured it more easily than anyone. He caught rabbits, cooked meals from nothing, mended clothes with magic fingers.
You know, we would have died long ago without you, Harry. We, two normal wizards, without an elf.
Harry is glad to be helpful.
Not helpful, necessary. They're different things. Do you understand?
Harry froze, and for the first time in his life he understood the difference. The Battle of Hogwarts. The old castle burned, the walls crumbled, and in the midst of this hell, everyone fought. Students, teachers, parents, ghosts, centaurs, and elves. Oh yes, elves. Dobby brought them. Hundreds of house elves with kitchen knives and frying pans. They jumped out from under the feet of Death Eaters, severed tendons, threw themselves at faces, scratched eyes. "For Harry Potter," they squeaked. "For freedom." Bellatrix Lestrange couldn't hold out first. One elf clung to her leg. Molly Weasley cut her in half with a spell, protecting Ginny. Lucius Malfoy dropped his wand and simply fell to his knees, surrendering. His son, Draco Malfoy, was running through the ruins, looking for his parents, and stumbled upon Harry. They looked at each other, an elf and the heir of a pure bloodline, and for the first time there was no contempt in Draco's eyes, only exhaustion.
Potter, you were right.
And walked past. In the Forbidden Forest, Harry met Voldemort for the second time. He was going there to die, to destroy the last Horcrux, himself.
An elf. A little worthless elf. Daring to challenge Lord Voldemort.
Harry is ready.
And closed his eyes. A green flash, darkness. A strange place, white, bright, resembling King's Cross Station. And Dumbledore is sitting on a bench, smiling.
Albus, is Harry dead?
Yes and no, my boy. You are the most remarkable of all the Potters, the bravest. And you know what? You can come back, if you want to.
Harry must. Friends are waiting.
Then go, my Harry. Go and finish this.
The final duel in the Great Hall of Hogwarts. Everyone watched, holding their breath. An elf with a wand in a tiny hand against the greatest dark wizard of the age. It seemed absurd. It seemed like the end.
Expelliarmus!
The green and red beams collided in the air. The connection of brother wands. And this time, Harry did not back down. He stood, small, trembling but unbending. Voldemort's wand was pulled from his hand and flew straight into the tiny elfin fingers. The wand recognized its new master, the Elder Wand, now loyal to the elf. The Dark Lord fell like a broken puppet. In his empty eyes, one thing was frozen: bewilderment. Until the last second, he could not believe that he was killed by an elf. After the battle, Harry stood in the middle of the ruined Great Hall. The bodies of friends and enemies lay mixed together. Dobby, the little brave Dobby, lay at his feet, with a smile on his frozen lips. He had died saving everyone in the Malfoy Manor basement a few months earlier, and Harry buried him with his own hands. Neville approached and placed a hand on the elf's shoulder, Luna on the other. Ron and Hermione stood nearby, Ginny a little behind.
We did it.
And for the first time said, "We, not Harry." It was the greatest victory. Years passed. In a new, renewed world, house elves gained freedom, real freedom, with the right to choose their masters or live independently. Hermione led the reform of laws regarding magical creatures. Harry became the first elf auror in history, the first elf teacher at Hogwarts, the first elf whose name was engraved in gold on the wall of the ministry. He married, in his elfin way, one of the freed elf maids named Winky. They had children, little elf children with scars in the shape of ordinary lightning bolts, hereditary, not from curses. Harry named his eldest son Albus Cedric and his youngest daughter Lily Molly. And every year, on the 31st of October, he went to Godric's Hollow. He stood by his parents' graves and quietly told them how his year had gone.
Harry is still here, Mom. Harry did what he promised. Harry lived and Harry loved.
This story is about how neither height nor blood makes a hero. A hero is made by the heart. A little elf in a pillowcase turned out to be capable of what the greatest wizards of the world were not, because he could love and serve, sacrificing himself. In the original story, Harry Potter was the boy who lived. In this version, he became a being that taught the entire magical world what it means to be free. If this alternative story touched you, like and subscribe to the channel. In the comments, write, what other reimagining of the Harry Potter universe would you like to see? See you in the next stories. If this alternative story touched you, like and subscribe to the channel. In the comments, write, what other reimagining of the Harry Potter universe would you like to see? See you in the next stories. If this alternative story touched you, like and subscribe to the channel. In the comments, write, what other reimagining of the Harry Potter universe would you like to see? See you in the next stories. If this alternative story touched you, like and subscribe to the channel. In the comments, write, what other reimagining of the Harry Potter universe would you like to see? See you in the next stories. If this alternative story touched you, like and subscribe to the channel. In the comments, write, what other reimagining of the Harry Potter universe would you like to see? See you in the next stories. If this alternative story touched you, like and subscribe to the channel. In the comments, write, what other reimagining of the Harry Potter universe would you like to see? See you in the next stories. If this alternative story touched you, like and subscribe to the channel. In the comments, write, what other reimagining of the Harry Potter universe would you like to see? See you in the next stories. If this alternative story touched you, like and subscribe to the channel. In the comments, write, what other reimagining of the Harry Potter universe would you like to see? See you in the next stories. If this alternative story touched you, like and subscribe to the channel. In the comments, write, what other reimagining of the Harry Potter universe would you like to see? See you in the next stories. If this alternative story touched you, like and subscribe to the channel. In the comments, write, what other reimagining of the Harry Potter universe would you like to see? See you in the next stories. If this alternative story touched you, like and subscribe to the channel. In the comments, write, what other reimagining of the Harry Potter universe would you like to see? See you in the next stories. If this alternative story touched you, like and subscribe to the channel. In the comments, write, what other reimagining of the Harry Potter universe would you like to see? See you in the next stories.